Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Object 432 review, the Russian Tier 9 medium tank. The quest to get all 3 of Tier 10 Russian mediums goes on, and this is the next one in line to review. So let's get straight into the armor and then jump into the replay and waste nobody's time here. So upper plate and lower plate is 120, upper plate is sloped much better than the lower plate, so you can get something like 200 effective armor here. But the lower plate is really bad and you can get much more than 150 no matter how you angle it, so you have to hide that at all times. Side armor is 80, so some side scraping can be done in this tank. The turret is really good. The best tier 9 turret you can get on a medium tank. Some places it exceeds 300 armor. This is, as you see, this here is not really a weak spot. There is no weak spot here. The cupola, yes, a higher part of the cupola is pretty weak, but it's not that easy to hit. This part of the turret is really weak as well, but you need to be below your enemies. The gun depression is the problem, so you often do show the top of your turret, but you have to try to avoid that. But overall, the turret armor is really great, and it's one of the best turrets in the game for a tier 9 medium tank. That is, this part is really thin as well, so you really don't want to be below your enemies and aiming up like this. If you're doing this, then this all armor is complete trash, like everywhere. So that's something to note. And yeah, the armor overall is pretty good, and let's get straight into that replay, shall we? So there we go, playing on Cliff with Turtles, Flexes, and 13 is T54E1. Let's start with the speed of the tank. The power to weight ratio is 16, which is pretty damn good for a tank that's as well armored as this one. And it gets to around 50, but not a big deal of problems. It struggles a bit to keep up the speed when it's uphill, but on flat it gets to the top speed and keeps it quite well. Track traverse is pretty damn good as well at 48. It's really useful because the turret doesn't go 360 degrees, it goes 90 to each side, so 180 in total. So the better track traverse is really important to make this tank work properly. Top speed is 55 kilometers an hour, which is pretty good. As I said, the tank doesn't really have much problems keeping that speed on flat, but uphill it struggles just a bit, and there you can see some lag in the replay. I don't know what it is. So let's talk guns now. Tank gets choice of 2 guns. There's not really much choice. The one gun is far superior than the other one. You can see some replay lag. I wasn't shooting blind, I actually saw the guy before I fired. But yeah, there's the choice in guns is there's only one real choice. You get the gun with lower penetration because the other gun is just shit in every other way. 0.39 accuracy, 2.9 second aiming time is just terrible on a medium tank. You should not even look at that gun. Higher penetration is nice, but it's totally not worth it, so don't even bother with that gun at all. The gun you want to use on this tank is called the 100mm M63. It's a tier 9 gun on a tier 9 tank, which is usually not that great, but in case of this, it's pretty good gun. 2.3 second aiming time, 0.36 accuracy, 8 rounds per minute almost. So that's a really nice DPM of around 2500 per minute, which is really strong for a tier 9 medium tank. It's better than most tier 10 medium tanks get. So the DPM of this machine is really high, combined with the armor, and it's a really nice package. So the first obvious question is it as good as the T54? Well, not really, because the armor is not that good. The armor of the T54, if you go frontally against most tier 8s, most tier 8 mediums will just be hopeless. They won't be able to do anything against you. In the case of this tank, you always have that lower plate. If you play aggressive, you'll most likely just expose your lower plate and not have that great of a time against the lower pen guns that can still pen you, like you saw him here. Getting pinned by a tiger is not a thing that's gonna happen in you when you drive the T54. So the overall package is good, but it's not as good as the T54 because T54 is just horribly overpowered in my opinion. But the review of that will come pretty soon as well, since I actually got it now. I just need to play it and unlock the real gun on it. Equipment wise, this tank favors gun leg, wrist stab, optics, and gun rammer. The usual setup really. You can go gun length drive I guess, but it don't really need with 2.3 second aiming time. There's actually no need to use that at all. Crew skill wise, of course, repairs, 6th sense. Clutch braking is nice in tanks with a limited turret traverse, but the rest is like the same. Smooth ride, snapshot, all that good stuff. So side scraping in this tank is pretty good. If you manage to get yourself against enemies with less than 250 pen, you'll be fine side scraping. You have to be careful and wiggle your cupolas a lot to make your armor better, but other than that, this armor really stands up really well against even tier 10s. The tank really doesn't scale up very well against tier 10s though, because of the poor penetration of this gun. You can always load heat, and the heat rounds on this gun is just overpowered. I don't even know why they're here. Why are they 320 penetration on the 100mm gun? Just makes absolutely no sense. I hope they fix this shit. And here you can see the potential of bounces you can have. And cool effects in the 8.11 as well. And get a fire with an ancient shot. And let's roll forwards. Like you see, what I've always said on this map, go middle or lose. And you see how easy it is to kill people that push this line. It requires almost no effort whatsoever. Let's put some more shots here. Not really effective angling here because I'm showing kind of my lower plate to everybody who just wants to take shots at me. But now I'm just gonna roll hull down and limit my enemy's chances to actually do anything useful against me. Being a top dog in this tank is so much better than being a top dog in the 416, because this tank really works the best when you can use your armor. The armor is really good, and if you can use it properly, then you'll have really good time in this tank. When you side scrape, this tank can work against tanks like the E75 and all that, all the big tier 9 heavies as well. Just have to be quite lucky to get proper angles. You need some experience as well, and that was a horrible shot. Since this is the last guy alive, I can just drop and kill him now. Reload is really good. You always shoot twice before anybody shoots you, so that's something to know. So there we have it. Ace tanker, almost 2.3k experience, 5.2k damage done, 1.3k spotting, top gun, high caliber, which is a new medal for doing the most damage in the game and doing more than 20% of the enemy health, and a steel wall as well. As you see, playing this tank really aggressively when you're top tier, really nice. Not a lot of people can pen you, and when they do, you just out DPM the shit out of them. The tank is really powerful when you can get it into the right positions. So positioning in this tank is the first skill you need to acquire. Overcome the rear mounted turret and not full turret rush is the second most important thing you need to have as a skill. And the third one is just a good aim overall, because the tank has quite low penetration, so you really must know those weak spots, or just load the skill rounds and be a strong flare. So yeah, really strong package, not as good as the T-54 because the T-54 is overpowered as all hell. But you'll see the T-54 review on this channel pretty soon as well, probably. I'm gonna get the Object 430 first though, I think, and then only bother with the T-54 and the T-62A and Object 140. So yeah, a lot of Russian mediums coming up on my stream and on the YouTube channel as well. Gonna do a T-34 Is It Worth the Gold review pretty soon, as well as some videos about the new maps and things like that. So, if you want to get my mods, go over to my stream. There's a link in the description. Click on the mods picture below the stream and get my mods. If you don't know how to install mods, then mods shouldn't really be for you. However, if you know what you're doing, it's really a simple installation. Just drag the files to your folder and they should all be working, because I'm using exactly the same files that are in that mod pack. So yeah, if you want to download that, go ahead and check out my stream. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.